What's going on, guys? What is going on? We are here for another episode. It's been a little bit with GGrated podcast, but we are here. My daughter is dancing behind the screen right now because she is excited just as much. But man, it's going to be a good time. What?
Gonna be a good time. We haven't been here in a week because last weekend was Mother's Day, right? Isn't that why we were off?
Couple weeks.
Oh yeah. So there was Mother's Day, and then we had a camping trip.
Yep.
So we haven't been here in a few weeks. And,
just a little
but we're
bit.
back now, ready to rock.
I don't remember what episode we on. We will have that posted in the description, guys. But we do have a great episode coming your way. We got a lot to catch up on, a lot to tell you about, and I say we kind of hop into it, man.
What episode this is right now? Just as soon as this page loads, this is episode 38 of the GGrated podcast. I'm Gray, and this is Gino coming to you live.
Talk a little bit about some gaming and the new gaming news, some news, tech, and movies that come out. We try to rate them and kind of tell our take on these games. If you have anything that you want us to talk about that you're very interested in, make sure you email us at GGratedChannel, GGratedChannel@gmail.com.
Yes, we actually have an email that came in that we're going to read on the show today. Where exactly do you want to do that? Do you want to go ahead and open up with that?
Yeah, throw it out.
Yeah, so we're going to go ahead and throw that out. So we got an email from the one and only Matthew Morrow, and it says this: "Hey guys, wanted to get your thoughts on which system I should upgrade to. The only reason I want to upgrade is for the new college football game and graphics, of course. I'm a little disappointed that they are only offering it on the new systems, but I guess this is their way of ushering in the new consoles. I've watched several videos regarding both consoles, and there are perks for both. I think the Game Pass is better than the PlayStation Store. I currently own a PS4 and have been a PlayStation owner since the OG PS2. Just wanted to hear your thoughts and see if either of you have picked up the new systems best." Yeah.
So if you don't mind, I kind of I know this is talking about some NCAA football, and that is my thing. You know, I've been talking to you about it a lot. So I'll kind of tell you about this, Matthew. I'm in the same predicament right now. I got a PC. I got rid of my Xbox to get a PC. I don't regret it at all until this moment. This moment, I've regretted it because now EA Sports College Football is coming out in July, and everybody's in this predicament now. What I recommend is there's two situations that you can do, okay? Because I'm going to be in the same situation, so I'm glad you brought it up. Is you're going to have a PlayStation or Xbox. There's no other way around it. We do not know if they will offer cloud streaming like they do on MLB The Show yet. So if you want to run that native experience, have the best experience to play that football game, is you got to have a Xbox Series X or S, which would be the cheaper option, or a PlayStation 5. Now, something to note is if you do not already have a console, is that you need to possibly look at getting one now, or if you can wait until the fall. The rumor is that the PlayStation 5 Pro is coming out in the fall. So if you can't wait and you're just there to buy the game, like you said, buy the PlayStation 5 is my recommendation, or Xbox, and then maybe trade it in and get the new PS5 Pro if you want the latest and greatest. But I know a lot of people isn't going to do that. Yeah. But my recommendation: buy a system and make sure you send me an invite on GGrated so I can whoop that tail when it comes out, because it's over, man. It's over.
Dude, so I don't see anything wrong with buying a console just for a game. So originally when the Xbox One came out, the only reason I bought that system was to play Titanfall. You know, this was years ago. I ended up buying an Xbox One used just so I could play Titanfall, and did not regret it one bit. And so I don't see anything wrong with buying a console just to get in there. I will say, like you said in your email, I do think that Game Pass is a better deal. And I don't know if you have a PC, but PlayStation is coming out with more and more games that are ported over to PC. So to me, Xbox is your best route to go. for the money. But, I can't fault anybody for still wanting to hang in there with PlayStation. I mean,
well,
they do have a lot of titles that we're not going to see.
If you look at PC though, Gray, if you already have a PC, I would 100% recommend getting a PlayStation. The reason for that is for their exclusives that they have. It seems like they're kind of going away from it a little bit now, but the Final Fantasy VII remake was a big one that you can only play on PlayStation. This Ghost of Tsushima, which I believe we're going to have a little news and talking about today on the show, was exclusive to PlayStation for 2 years, just about now. Yeah. So there's a lot of games that you can benefit from having a PlayStation. At Xbox, they release day and date on PC and Xbox at the same time. So it just depends on where you are in the gaming world. If you already have a PC, get the PlayStation. You're going to get more benefits out of it. If you don't have a PC, then it doesn't really matter what you get. If you're looking for the cheap option, at Xbox Series S, you can get it for $300 and below. A lot of times you can get it on sale and get it around $200 or $250, and then that's enough to play college football. So
yeah, and I think there's some Xbox games that are coming to PlayStation as well, didn't we?
Yes.
Didn't we talk about that they're kind of branching out and allowing some Xbox titles to come to PlayStation? So honestly, yeah, it's going to be hard to go wrong either way.
A lot of those games.
And don't sleep on the Steam Deck too. Like, I know this doesn't have anything to do with what you're saying, but Steam Deck is an awesome console to get if you want to play a bunch of other games on the go and kind of get into the PC ecosystem. Not exactly Windows or anything, but that's a whole other conversation I'm not going to go into. I just wanted to mention
we always have to
sleep on the Steam Deck. Love the Steam Deck.
Man, with that being said, let's jump into this intro real quick.
Let's go!
Hello, welcome to GGrated. We hope you enjoy the show. Now here are the hosts.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Matt. Thank you so much for that.
For that intro, some housekeeping out of the way there.
Yep.
And we're on to the show.
So I know we did a little catch up a little bit. I guess we do a little catch up portion real quick. Like Gray was saying, is we had Mother's Day. We celebrated our wonderful wives and our mothers that day, and we hope you all had a great Mother's Day as well. Telling y'all 2 weeks later, but hey, we hope you had a great one. And then we went on a little camping trip because I ended up getting me a new vehicle last week. So.
Yes, it's pretty sweet too, and you broke it in right, son. I mean, I'm talking about the day of you broke it in right.
The day of I bought the vehicle. They let me take it off the lot. They said we'll get a detail later and all this stuff. And as soon as I did that, I went and met with Josh. We went to 600-1 trail in Talladega, Alabama, Talladega National Forest. He had some awesome spots, and we ended up having a great time. Stood there 2 nights. Beautiful weather.
Awesome.
Beautiful weather. I forgot my sleeping bag as well. But luckily it wasn't too crazy cold or anything like that. And man, I enjoyed it. So I'll try
Me too, man.
There we go. There it is. Look at that, dude.
Look at that, man. Check us out on YouTube, audio listeners.
Yeah. We're showing this on our YouTube channel. This is the view. So Josh, the funniest thing is we get here on this trail, just to kind of talk about for 1 second. It's like 9:30 at night. 9:30. I guess it's 9:30, right? It was late. It was dark. And while it was dark, it was, how can I put it? Breaking in my vehicle for the first time was a whole nother level. We went through like a mud pit and everything else. Almost got stuck. But it was an awesome experience. So I got to show you another picture, maybe a little video of it, of me going through this trail. Let me see if I can find that for you. This is my truck. I'll show you all that. There we go. There's my truck right now. There's my baby. This is after we got done with the trail. I want to show the video of when we're driving late at night to see how dark it is. If I can find that video. Oh, here we go. It's on the video tab. Let's see if that helps. Look at that. That's during the daylight. That's the next day. Got a little clip of us going, having a little fun with that. Going through some mud puddles and all that.
Yeah, very cool.
But I really want to get... Here's the night one, buddy. Here we go.
Trail riding, cuz.
Trail ride. First time in the new life.
Yeah, doing some little rock crawling right there.
I mean, you see how dark it is on this video. It's like all we got is the headlights, but we almost got stuck literally in this big mud pit. And somehow we got out of it. We ended up setting up camp. We eat. We ended up going to bed like 2:30 in the morning. So overall, I broke in my truck very well. And it did the test. It did pretty good. So I was pretty happy.
It is Jeep Gladiator approved, son. You got the badge of honor for 600-1 because our GPS took us to the hard end of the trail. So usually you come up to the beginning of this trail and it's kind of an easy portion that goes straight to the campsites. But we came to the end of the trail and went the opposite way that I guess folks would usually go, and did the gnarly rocks and mud. And I think we started at like 9:00 at night and then went from there. So we got all the like gnarly trail action out of the way right off the jump, and was really, really cool though. I don't think I would have done it any other way now because it was fun to,
I think the scariest
just dive in.
The scariest part of it was going up the hill, getting to the camp spot. I think was the scariest part of it. At one point, Josh goes, and he's my spotter, guys. I got to give it up to Josh. He spotted me very well 3 or 4 times. But he got to a point where he was looking at me. He's like, I don't know, man. You can't go backwards.
And then you just gunned it, son.
So I was like, all right. Well, I guess I need to just see what I can do. And I just gunned it. And I got up there. Josh was like going like, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then we end up on top, and it was an awesome time, man. It really was.
It was.
But with that, man, is there anything else that happened you want to kind of catch us up with real quick before we get into the gaming news and deals?
Let's see. What else is there? I don't know. Yeah, no, let's just go right into it, man.
Okay. Let's get into it.
Oh, hey, wait. No, wait. Our gaming moment of the week. What's up?
Let's go into gaming moment of the week.
So for those of you that don't know what this is, we pick our favorite moment throughout the week and we talk about it, our gaming moment of the week. And if you have a gaming moment of the week, be sure to drop us a message on Facebook, drop us a comment on YouTube, or send us an email at GGratedChannel@gmail.com of your favorite gaming moment. Describe what it was like, what you were doing, what did it feel like, and we would love to read that live on air. So, with that being said,
I'm a little rusty, guys, so my apology. 2 weeks off. Look, I mess it up. I keep wanting to go to every time.
I know, dude. It's
going to the gaming news, But
I get it, man.
You go ahead, man. Go ahead with your gaming moment of the week. Tell me what you got.
So my gaming moment of the week was getting through, I guess, like the first act of Ghosts of Tsushima. I won't dive into the story too much right now, but there's a part where you get through the first part of the story and you haven't seen any credits yet. and then all of a sudden you get these credits, and dude, it's like the beginning of a movie. And for those that have played it, you're going to know what I'm talking about. It's when you get through that first part, and then you're riding your horse, and then all of a sudden it's like Ghost of Tsushima. And dude, like I felt like I was a samurai in feudal Japan, and it was awesome. And there's even a mode on there where you can turn it to look like an old like movie of black and white, and I messed around with that some too. And I was inside of that world. It was really, really cool. Very atmospheric, very immersive, and I found myself smiling when that happened, and I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna love this game. And I do love this game. So that was my game moment of the week. Just oh yeah, dude, I've been playing like crazy.
We'll definitely get into it more, because I know we're definitely going to talk about our 2 gaming moments later on in the show, guys. So stop in. But yeah, that's pretty cool, man.
But there's that initial moment where you ride down and you're in this like field of flowers, and it's just like, oh my gosh, this is beautiful. And you're gonna see it, and it's gonna be cool. I'm not spoiling anything.
And that's what it's known for too. That game's known for. So is being beautiful like that. So really good graphic. Yeah. Well, I'll talk about my gaming moment of the week, man. It's going to be Hellblade 2. It was just released this past week on Xbox. It actually was released into Game Pass as a day 1 release. So I just installed it, got to playing it. I've got about 2.5 hours into this game. The gameplay isn't that great. I wish it was more control over the character, but I'll get into that later. But as far as my gaming moment of the week is, I just slayed this, and this might give it away a little bit. I slayed this giant boss, put it that way. I guess you can say slayed it, helped it, and the video, the cinematic experience of it is just mind blowing. Like the scenery in the background with the canyons and stuff. It's just I had some screenshots I sit on Discord. I'll try to pull them up in a little bit later in the show. But
I didn't know you had screenshots on Discord. I want to see that.
Yeah, I had some screenshot I put on there, and it's just
what channel is it on?
It's a beautiful game. I think I put in just chatting, I believe. But it's just a beautiful game. I'm talking about it's the best looking game of the whole generation so far. I feel like,
and it's Unreal Engine 5, right?
It might be. I don't know.
But I believe it is. I think so. The newest Unreal Engine.
I just wish they would have done. I'll go into what I think they should have done more. But as far as my gaming moment, it's just playing this game and getting sucked into it because of the audio. The audio in this game is unreal. It's kind of like on the first game when you hear these whispers coming in your ear, and you just get sucked into it. So that's definitely going to be my gaming moment of the week.
That's cool, man. Yeah, I'm excited to try it out. You've been raving about it, so yeah, it's going to be cool. I still got to beat the first one. Didn't you say that you beat the first one? Or you played it at least?
I played it all the way to pretty much the very end. But I didn't actually complete the whole game. So I was like, screw it. I'm just going to play the second one because I've heard so many good things about it. So, and so far it has not let me down. Maybe I can get through this whole game. It's only 6 hours long. So I
that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah. Do you want to go into the gaming news and deals?
Let's do it. Gaming news and deals. Go for it.
All right, gaming news and deals, man. Do you have any deals for us that we might need to know about?
Yeah, I got all Steam deals in one place at gg.deals. So right now, as far as Steam deals go, The Siege is hot at $3.74, and Warhammer 40,000 right now is free. Yes, that's right, free. Pick it up right now. The DLC is not free, but the game itself, which is usually $39.99, is free. That's one that actually, while we're doing the podcast, I'm going to go ahead and make sure I get that because I'm going to try it later. Let's see. Then I'm just going to go down the list of other games that I think would be cool to try out. Valheim is $9.99, usually $20. Hunt Showdown. Hunt Showdown is a really fun game. So basically, you're taking down these different monsters and creatures and things from like hell and stuff. I do believe, and but you can also encounter other players in this world that can kill you and steal your stuff. So Hunt Showdown is a pretty cool game that I have played before, and I wouldn't mind picking up for $13.99, usually $40.
Not bad at all. Yeah,
it's not. Skyrim is only $8, usually 40. That's one that I want to try out. Grand Theft Auto 4, the complete edition, is only $5.99. I think we own that, don't we? I think we own.
Yeah, I think I ended up buying. I think.
Far Cry 5 is only $8.99 right now. That's a great deal. And let's see. I'm just gonna scan through real quick and see what else we have. Nothing else is really sticking out to me. Oh, Tom Clancy's the Division 1 is only $4.49. So that's
which is always a good one to look at.
Yeah. Ready or Not, I really want to pick that up, man.
That's you keep talking about that every time you see that.
Yeah. I want to play it, man. I've just recently gone back to another game that's kind of in that same vein, and there is something to be said about a hardcore tactical shooter. It's a hardcore tactical shooter. You're much like a SWAT team. You're breaking down doors and you're clearing rooms, and it's supposed to be very realistic. There'll be different scenarios that you go through as far as you got to split the pie, man. You got to clear these rooms and take down these bad guys, or it could be a hostage. You don't know. Game. Yeah, dude, it looks really cool. We got to play it one day. We got to.
I think, didn't we play it one time? Was that the same game that we did?
No, we played 0 Hour, which is a game like that. I actually really enjoy that game too, but we only played it once.
So
it gets
taxing. When you do that for a living, and then you do it here on the game, it's kind of like, okay, it's great and all. It is fun though to play with some friends. But that's some good deals, man.
Those are the ones that stick out to me. Those are the GG-rated GG deals picks for 5/26/2024. That's probably going to change, but as of right now, that's what we got. So, what about the news, Gino?
Man, I gotta throw out. I have to throw out that college football 25 that we just talked about earlier. NCAA football 25 got its official release, so I wanted to kind of play that real quick.
Yeah, let's do it.
Got something special for y'all.
2025.
Little update for our fans from the Big House to the Bayou.
YouTube video.
Carolina to California.
Of, I guess, NCAA 2025.
We know you love it.
Dude, they're going to have so many uniforms, so many things with it. It's going to be amazing.
Yeah. I used to play it quite a bit. It was fun. I played
and I think this is the teaser.
What was the last big one?
Oh, it was 14. NCAA 14.
Okay, gotcha. 14.
Let me try to look that up.
While you're doing that.
There we go. Here it is.
Yeah. So are they going to pay the players?
Yep.
They're already
not a lot.
Paying the players,
but they are.
That's cool. That'd be sweet to be going to college and freaking getting paid, son.
I'm probably going to have to cut that music because of that copyrighted music that's on there. But
copyrighted music. Gino, I will give you $30 to play. Let's see. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. So they're gonna have all the mascots and stuff there too.
Dude, that's the biggest thing. That's the biggest thing with NCAA football is the atmospheres, right? The traditions that you have at all the schools. in all the uniforms, all the players, putting a 2-star recruit against a 5-star team, or like a D1, like you go against Alabama, which is number one in the nation, against an Eastern Michigan, and then destroy them. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the fun thing about it, man. And that's why everybody's so excited, is we missed that part of it, And I feel like it's going to be a little bit of a recap of Madden, a little reskin. But just to have NCAA football with the traditions and all that, and being the beginning again, look, they even do a 4th and 31 with Milroe. He gets hit, but look at this. 4th and 31 against Auburn. They actually put it in here when he throws it.
Nice.
So,
I'm not sure what you're talking about, but it sounds awesome.
Oh, how do you not know about 4th and 31?
I don't, bro.
Like I said, they're going to have a deluxe edition, 3-day early access. You can pre-order July 16th. So it should be coming out sometime in July. And it's going to be amazing. I'm telling you.
That sounds awesome, dude.
That's the biggest news that I had to throw out there to everybody. I'm a huge NCAA football fan, and yes, I'm probably going to buy a console just to play this game. Unfortunately,
oh my lord!
If you got one, let me borrow it for a little bit, okay? Until the fall, because they are coming out supposedly with a PS Pro.
So is it not going to be on Game Pass or anything? You got to have a console.
See, it might be, but it's not going to be on PC. That's the problem.
I know,
a lot of these games on Game Pass,
gaming.
Not every game goes with the cloud either. If it was cloud gaming, I'll be fine. I'll just do that until it releases, because cloud, I've been playing MLB The Show. I've had no problems, playing it on the cloud. But I think
and that's really amazing too, because you have to time your swing and everything, and you would think the latency would mess you up. Yeah. But if it's not messing you up, then that's some pretty good cloud gaming there, buddy.
Yeah, it's good, definitely with baseball, because the pitching, the timing, and all that. And I really haven't had it. Every once in a while, you see like a scan line come down, but that's it, man. So I mean, I play Starfield, 60 frames a second now with their update. So it's a pretty cool little thing. They just need to update it a little bit.
Yeah.
But guys, that's our gaming news and deals. If you got some deals that you liked, make sure you hit that smash button, that like button, smash it, and also leave a comment down below or on our Facebook page at GGrated, or leave us an email, GGratedChannel@gmail.com. If you got any you can think of, any other deals, please let us know, because we will probably snatch them up as well.
Yes, I just snatched up Warhammer Gladius Relics of War for free. If you get it before May 30th, you'll get to keep it.
I'm going to have to do that as well then. Dude, my wife helped me clean out some stuff today, matter of fact, too, Josh. And she was going through my Nintendo Switch shelf and had that's the only system I collect physical on, right? And she was like, good grief, like how many games have you bought? Like, it's like the whole shelf. She's like, jeez. Yeah, she was like putting them up there and lining them up. She's like, man, when did you buy all these? I was like, just here and there.
Yeah, just here and there.
Yeah,
that's funny.
Like, I still got this one. It's still in the wrapper.
Yeah,
it's the Prince of Persia.
That's awesome.
That I want to play.
Oh yeah, I've been wanting to try that one out.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool game.
So that would be like if my wife decided to look and see how many games I had on Steam. She would be like, "My God, look at all these games!"
Dude, I love having your library. That's all I'm going to say. Thanks for sharing the librberry.
Absolutely, man.
Because you'd be buying these games I'd never buy, and I guess I'll buy these games too. But yeah, I don't want to look at my Steam library either. But hey, it's kind of like women when they go buy clothes here and there, right? Like, we're not going to do that. We'll buy a game here and there.
That's right.
I'm trying to make myself justified here. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But
hey, man, it's working for me.
Do you want to go into the game and talk section?
Let's do it. Game and talk section. So I'm super excited to go over this. As I was talking about before, Ghost of Tsushima is out for PC. I have been awaiting this ever since it came out for PlayStation. I didn't have a console anymore. I used to have a PlayStation 4, but I had traded it in on something else. And when this game came out, I was so bummed that I couldn't play it. And I was just hoping one day it would come for PC, and it finally did. So, just for a little quick rundown of what this is, Ghost of Tsushima is an action game set in feudal Japan. Players take the role of Jin Sakai, a samurai risking everything to defend Tsushima from the Mongol invaders pillaging the land. Players travel the Japanese countryside, helping civilians and defending them from the Mongol invaders. Frequent sword battles take place in third-person melee and ranged combat. Successful attacks can result in dismemberment and decapitation, often accompanied by large blood splatter effects. Players can also use stealth to take out enemies unseen with assassination kills. Cinematics and other scenes show other examples of intense violence and gore, including a scene where a civilian is burned alive, a scene showing a person beheaded and the decapitation man's head held upward to the camera. Oh my gosh!
Oh geez, have you seen that?
I don't know. Red blood can be seen in environments, on clothing, and spraying from successful attacks. My goodness, this got graphic quick. So, it hasn't been
Josh
that
strongly
bad
recommends.
To me. Yeah, I just kind of copy and pasted this off of Google, not reading what all of it said. But, to me, it really hasn't been that bad. As far as dismemberment goes, I know there's a certain attack that you can unlock where, I don't know if you watched like anime movies and stuff, to where when they run and they slice through an enemy and like slide, and I'm going to try to reenact it, where you're like,
you do it.
But you're like moving forward and you slide through the enemy. Yes. So basically that. And I've noticed that I've been able to do that, and I chop off their arm.
That. Right, you just go
as their weapon
like that. You just
but you're slicing like.
Wait. So you got to go.
Yeah, exactly. So when there's like two people fighting, and then they run past each other and slice, and then one of them falls down.
I knocked over my light. Hang on.
Oh, okay. It's getting crazy here. So it's basically that. There's certain attacks that you can learn, and it's not magic per se, but you get these special attacks that you can do. This one that I'm talking about, I forget what it's called exactly, but you hold down like Y and B. I'm playing on the controller usually. Actually, I'm playing on the Steam Deck usually, which by the way, it plays amazing on Steam Deck. But there's 4 different stances that you can take with the sword. There's like water stance, wind stance, and the different stances work better depending on which enemy you're fighting. So if you have an enemy that's got shields, you want to use that stance to knock away their shield and be able to actually land hits on them. And, if they have a spear, you want to have that certain stance. I think it's like water stance. Maybe it's wind stance, to where you're able to knock the spear away and get to them. So it's really cool in that aspect, that it's not just button mashing melee combat. There's like actually strategy involved.
You got to time it up.
With how you're going to approach these different enemies and stuff. And you also have arrows. You also have some ninja type gear. You have these things that you can throw. You have bombs. You have different things that you unlock. And I've only gotten through like the first act. I think there's a lot more, but I've unlocked a lot of stuff already. And there's so much to explore. I mean, the environment is beautiful. The enemies that you face are really cool and can be really challenging. There is some stealth involved, but it's kind of a double-edged sword, pun intended.
If you do see stealth, what you did there.
So you're taught as a samurai that you're supposed to look the enemy in the eye when you fight them. But in order to take down large amounts of people, you have to resort to some tactics that would seem dishonorable. So you're in this back and forth with, am I going to do these tactics that my uncle would not like and that he would frown upon and would bring dishonor to my family?
Well, will he
or
not?
Do you just want to get the job done? Yeah, because they start to call you the ghost because like a lot of folks are getting killed by you and they never see it coming. And it brings dishonor, but at the same time, he's doing what he has to do to save his land. You know, he has to resort to these different tactics because he doesn't have a whole army anymore. The whole army's been defeated. So it's just him and a ragtag group trying to take down this whole army of Mongols. So there's kind of a back and forth there. At the
battle
same
system
time,
looks really cool. We're watching it right now on YouTube, and it looks sweet. Really like you really got to strategize who you're going to go after first. I see he's fighting like 3 or 4 people right now. So you have to rotate the person around. They got a big guy with a shield and a sword, so you have to try to hit him from the back. So it's not just slicing and dicing.
And that's one thing that has been really cool to me is that the melee never gets boring. Like I'm always enjoying my interactions with these people or with these enemies. And there are certain times where you can challenge an enemy and you have to hit the button at the right time and you can take the enemies down in one swipe, like just off a movie or something. I forget what it's called. It's where you challenge them when you first like arrive at their location and you can say, bring out your strongest warrior. And then that one comes out. And
that's
it's just
awesome.
Like head to head. Yeah, it's
like David
really
and Goliath
awesome
stuff right there, man. That's pretty cool. It's
like,
I'll face the challenge.
Keep it. Yeah, exactly. So they try to keep it interesting. They try to keep it really cinematic, I would say, so that it feels like more of a immersive story instead of just this button mashing video game.
He stabbed him through the door. When you go in this stealth mode, it kind of looks like he can see through walls when he goes into stealth. Is that correct?
Yeah, so there is a stealth mode. You hit the select button and you have heightened senses. And that's something that you can develop too.
So this is on PC now.
Armor you can try out. You have a bunch of different these little like things that can add either extra melee damage. There are these little things. There's these. They're called charms that you attach to your sword, and it'll endow your sword with different abilities. So it'll either be like heightened melee, extra health, things like that. And I would compare a lot of the things to it, honestly, to Breath of the Wild, how it kind of plays in the open world, man. Because there's always another quest to do. There's always some sort of ability or
it's kind of reminding me
to yourself.
I don't mean to cut you off. It's kind of reminding me of Horizon Zero Dawn a little bit, though. How you're fighting things out in the wild and stuff, like different enemies, and you kind of go town to town.
Yeah,
have you played that game?
Yeah, I have played Horizons. To me, this game's on a whole another level. You know, honestly, I got a little bored by Horizons, and that's just me. But this one has kept me involved, and so this one kind of has me too because I'm big on the Japanese lore and stuff.
Yeah.
So, this one
tell me about Tell me about the story. What you've learned so far. I mean, I know you talked about honor with the uncle and teaching him and trying to be honorable by him, but what is it? Something that kind of grabs you, other than the whole Japanese thing and all that. What's the story that you're kind of figuring out on this thing?
Yeah, so you're playing as a guy named Jin, and he's basically he grew up and watched his dad get defeated, and could have had the opportunity to save him, but he was a young man, like he was just a kid. So, I think he's got that he's dealing with.
Does he blame himself?
And yeah, he definitely blames himself, but his uncle has been kind of the father figure. But the Mongols, the head Mongol, which is actually pretty funny that the actor who plays the head Mongol have you ever seen Night at the Museum?
Yeah.
The movie?
The movie? You talking about the movie? Yeah.
Yeah, so the actor that plays Attila the Hun is actually the head Mongol in this game.
Really?
Yeah. So I was
great.
like, wait a second, that's the guy from Night at the Museum.
Hey,
let me find
great.
this dude's name. But
Night
he's
of the Museum head Mongol.
Yeah. So
I don't know if they got a picture of him.
You would know him if you saw him. He's a big dude. He looks like a Mongol.
The main character.
Yep, he's the main bad guy that you're facing in this video game.
You see him in this picture?
Yeah, I think he's to the back left of
that guy.
What's his name? Yeah. But he's a big, imposing figure in this video game, and he doesn't exactly fight. Like, so there's this part at the beginning where they try to call out their best warrior to fight. And you have a samurai that's asking for them to send out their best warrior, Mongol. And basically, instead of fighting, they just set this dude on fire. So they don't play by like honorable rules of combat. Like,
what?
They're pretty brutal, and they just want to win no matter what. So they'll take hostages. They'll
play
murder
dirty.
Hostages. Yes, they fight dirty. They fight to win. They fight to take over the land. So that is kind of to the detriment of the samurai, because they're all about honor. Like, they want to fight with honor at all times. And when you have somebody else who doesn't fight with honor, they can have an advantage over you. So that's kind of where the story starts off at. And basically, they're coming by sea and overtaking this land of Tsushima. And slowly, but you're not only dealing with them, you're dealing with different enemies too. You have bandits that you also have to deal with, and you'll encounter them, just in the world. There might be a farmer or something that gets attacked, and you'll like run up on it, and you'll have to defend them. You can encounter different areas. Like, one thing that's really cool is they give you opportunities to reflect and to see how beautiful the environment is. So, like, you might come and you might find a hot spring. So the dude will get down in the get down in the hot spring, and then you'll get the opportunity to either it'll say mash A to contemplate about your uncle, or mash B to think about your dad. And then he'll go into kind of a monologue of, I've
like
been thinking about this. Yeah. So it'll add to, like, the development of the character. Yeah. And also, when you do that, you'll gain some health as well. So when you find these places of interest, not only does it add to the story, but it adds to upgrading your abilities as well. So there's all different kind of aspects like that go into gameplay mechanics that not only add to the gameplay mechanics, but develop the story and the development of the character, so that you really feel like you are this dude in feudal Japan.
Yeah.
And it's really, really cool. But yeah, so I could go on and on about it.
You can kind of get behind, instead
of
just
I totally get behind it.
Slice and dice, like I said earlier. You can actually get behind the story, look at what you do, kind of develops the character. I kind of like that. So that's pretty cool,
this
man.
is the kind of game, man, that the last game that had me like this in this open world environment was Breath of the Wild, like how beautiful it was and how the game mechanics worked. And this to me is a grown up version of Breath of the Wild of like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It's more serious, more bloody, and has me hooked in that same way of where I just want to keep exploring. And, much like in Breath of the Wild, when you would find the different shrines, there's different areas in this, not necessarily puzzles, but there's different areas to find. Oh, and I didn't even mention this. So on the map, when you choose a location on the map, instead of, there being a line or an arrow to lead you that direction, what they do is the wind will start blowing in that direction, and you follow the wind to get to your destination.
So it's like your destiny, pretty much. Like the wind
is telling you where to go, and you're guiding you. And that's a really cool way of you stay immersed in the game and don't have some sort of overlay like go in this direction, because there's not much on the screen at all. Like there's nothing there so that you feel fully immersed. Things will pop up when you hit left trigger so you can choose your bow and all that, and it'll have that on the screen. But when you're just there fighting there and just like exploring, there's nothing on the screen, and you feel fully immersed in this atmosphere. So for that aspect, I really love it. And I think they did a lot of smart things with it.
So Gray, all that you said with that, and I know you have not beat the game, but we do like to kind of go into it a little bit. I know we talked about it. We're going to be tweaking this a little bit, guys, in reference to our GG ratings. We want to do something a little different here, okay? We kind of talked about it. We don't want to do the 1 through 10. We want to do something a little different, and we're going to work on this. This is not final. But I know we talked about worth it, terrible, different thing. What would you say if somebody wanted to know about Ghost of Tsushima? What rating would you give GG rating?
So as far as GG rating goes, I would say that this is a must play, immersive, atmospheric game. I don't know what other rating to do than 1 through 10. So to me, so far, this is a 10. This is what I would call a perfect game. There's not much about it that I don't like, and this is one of my only perfect
too, though.
I'm totally. I love anything Japan.
Do you have the sword? All that stuff. Do you have the sword in front of you? Please tell me you have the sword.
No, I don't.
Don't you have
I don't even know where it is. Oh. I have a sword, but it's like one that I bought at a flea market. It's nothing.
But
fancy.
It's still a sword, dude. That says it all right
it's a sword. I would love to get some armor in my house to like have hanging up. Cool. Like I'm all for it. This game's a 10, dude. It's it had to have gotten some sort of award.
Yeah, it's got awards. Well, you heard it from him. He's going with a 10, but the GG rating that we're going to go with is a must play. This will be a must play. Again,
must play.
All right. With that being said, do you mind if I go into my game, the Hellblade 2?
Go for it. I want to hear about it. Hellblade 2.
So, Hellblade 2, I kind of read a little synopsis about it real quick. It was released in 2024. It's an action-adventure game developed by Ninja Theory and published by Xbox Game Studio. So Xbox does own this studio. The game is a sequel to the original Hellblade Senua's Sacrifice. It's set in the 9th century Iceland, drawing inspiration for the Norse mythology and culture. Hellblade 2 was created with a higher budget, larger team compared to its predecessor. The gameplay is similar. When I say similar, it's very similar. It features combo-based combat as well as a lot of puzzles. I'm not big on the puzzles, but these puzzles are super easy, man. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that.
Yeah.
The gameplay is similar. It features combo-based combat. As I said, the visuals have been revamped, faster-paced combat, improved visuals built in a new Unreal Engine by retaining a psychological horror and focus on Senua's struggle with psychosis. So Hellblade 2 is released on Windows, which is PC, and Xbox Series X and S, day and date on both, on May 21st. it received pretty positive reviews. I think a lot of places gave it like IGN gave it like an 8. So I haven't seen anything less than an 8 on this thing. So kind of going into it a little bit, it's a third-person game, okay? And like I said, I played the first one a little bit, but the thing that you notice from the very beginning is you have to play this game with headphones. There's no other way around it. You have to have headphones. You have to turn the lights off. And immediately you hear, they work with mental health people on this game to kind of explain and get them to get it right. When I say get it right, I mean like when you have somebody schizophrenic or something, they hear voices, right? And the headphones, you hear one person in one ear whispering, you hear another person, another ear whispering, and then you can hear somebody from behind you whispering, telling you something. Then she has like 4 people talking to her, but it's in her own voices. And some's not in her own voices. And it's going on the whole time that you're playing this game. And you're like, oh my God. Like, it starts getting to a point like, is this really what it's like? Like, this is crazy. So it really immerses you and just takes you in, on that. But that's not something that was new on this game. Something that's been new in this game that I have to give all the credit to, it's got to be the graphics, man. The graphics, they have done a phenomenal job on the graphics. So I'll kind of throw some up here real quick.
Unreal Engine 5.
Yeah. So it's the new Unreal Engine then.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when you look at this, Gray, the thing that gets me with this though the most, and I have to give it out to MK Ice and Fire on YouTube, by the way. We've been showing his footage of his gameplay, so much love to you. I appreciate that. But man, I feel like I'm watching a movie most of the time. Half the time I'm running, yes, I'm looking at all the scenery and it looks gorgeous, it's like in a movie, but there's not a lot of knife fights and stuff. So what happens is she arrives on this slave boat, and she's on this boat on purpose to try to get back at somebody to kill somebody, okay? Well, the boat ends up wrecking because of a storm. When she lands, everybody's dying and stuff. And some of the slave owners are trying to round up the slaves again. What you find out is the reason they're bringing the slaves there is for a certain reason. Okay? And I'm not going to tell that reason to spoil it. But she ends up fighting like the boss, the slave boss or whatever at the very beginning. And again, this huge knife fight, which is really cool, but it's very basic. It's block and strike. Block and strike. So if you time up your block right, that's it. But the animations are really awesome. So you keep traveling and you keep having to do this other stuff. And I'm trying not to give away too much of the game that I played so far, but it seems like you keep meeting these people. You're dealing with your own mental issues, right? And it's like you're there for a calling. Like there's some kind of special calling that you're there to do. You haven't quite figured it out yet. As you keep going, you start figuring it out. But it's set in this Iceland where there's nothing but death in this Iceland. And there's these monsters and giants. And she's just like, she's got scars on her face, all this different kind of stuff. And it's just, she is gritty. It's a gritty game. The lighting on it is amazing. And I know it sounds kind of rough what I'm saying. It sounds very vague what I'm saying here, guys and girls. But the problem is you can't really explain it. I would put it more as if you want an immersive experience that's like a cinematic movie, right? With a little bit of gameplay, then you definitely need to check this game out. But if you want something where you're controlling something, kind of like Josh was kind of explaining on his Ghost of Tsushima, where you have that strategy, every single move that you do affects you. I feel like those games are totally different, right? And as I've told you before, Josh, like I want the story. I'm huge on the stories. So when games kind of hit more on the story and everything, it kind of hits a little bit more on my side. I do wish there was a little bit more gameplay, but I'm so sucked in, I want to start this thing up again and finish it just to try to finish this game to see what's going to happen. So she's fighting with her own demons the whole time. And it's like you're living in like, it's like you living as part of her, because using your headphones, it's constant fighting in your info, like it's constant bickering. So I have the audio on, and y'all can kind of hear this. If you can, we're going to take like 1 minute, just let you listen to this real quick. Here's the fight scene. She's screaming, dude.
So I like that you're actually fighting people now. Because in the first one, you weren't really fighting people. Or I didn't ever get to that point to where you were fighting real people.
No. And I'll kind of skip over this part because I don't want to give away anything. But you're fighting different people in different things. Like this is another scene from another episode. But the thing is, just watching that first battle compared to this battle, it's the same. You fight 3 people and that's it. 3 people, that's it. I think there was one when I'm looking for the hidden folk or whatever, and they ended up fighting. They had like 6 or 7 of them, but it ended up being a fake fight. So it's like it's playing with your mind. Like you don't know what's real and what's not real. And I feel like the biggest thing they do with this game is they really hit on the psychosis of Senua. Like she is playing with her own mind. She's fighting her own demons inside while fighting actually in the world, the demons in the world. So it's an extremely extraordinary game to play and just to experience. Even if you just play an hour of it or 2 hours, it's a great experience just to walk through and just hear the voices and hear the immersive reality of what she is dealing with.
Dude,
So as far as the secondary thing that you deal with on this game is there's some puzzles. Sometimes you get these puzzles, but it's mostly, so it'd be like a small village and you have to hold the E button. I'm playing on keyboard. You hold E and it focuses on a letter or something. Well, you have to be at a certain point in that village and line up these sticks that show that same letter that you focused on. And then once you get that, you go to the next letter and the next letter. Then all of a sudden it opens the main portal to go to the next stage. So it's not really hard because you only have 4 directions in that town to go in. And you know, once you get in that next section, like the second section, you have to look for that letter. If that makes any sense what I'm saying. So there's not a lot of places. It's not an open world.
First one.
Yes, it's not an open world concept anymore. It's the same. Everything is almost the same. But the thing they did so great is you can tell by this video, man. I mean, it is the detail and everything is just, it's extraordinary, man. I mean, look at that.
You can see all the little lines and scars on her face.
You have no idea if it's like a video or is this actually game graphics. And this Unreal Engine 5 is just.
And what's really cool is I saw that there's a VR mod that somebody did. So you can play this one in VR like you can the first one.
Really?
But you got to download a mod. Yeah, so on the first one, there's actually, it comes when you buy the game, it comes with the VR mode also that I have played, and it was really cool. And this one looks like somebody came out with a mod so that you could play VR. It would be even more impressive on this game, you know, because this is using the new engine. It would.
Well, think about really, the immersiveness with VR too. The immersiveness with that. Oh, That would be insane. Yeah. But man, just to kind of throw it out there about GG rating wise, I think I would have to go with a must play on this as well. I know the gameplay is kind of, I wouldn't say crappy, it's just basic. But
it's all about story.
The story and the experience, man, and the experience and story, and I'm enjoying the game. If you enjoy something and you want other people to experience that too, I think that goes into the must play category. So if we had to give it a number, like I said, I would give it an 8 out of 10 because it did not go higher. It did not go lower than the first one. The only thing is the graphics a little bit. So I think it should stay at an 8, right? So we're going to go with that. And
very cool. Yeah, I'm excited to try it out, man. You got me wanting to try it out.
And
now.
I got Ghost of Tsushima downloaded already. I just need to load it up, man.
Yeah, dude, it looks really good on the Steam Deck too. That's where I've been playing most of it. I do play it on my PC as well, but you know, when I'm away from home, it plays so good on the Steam Deck. So I bet this would too, honestly, because the first one plays really good on Steam Deck. Are you playing it on Game Pass?
I'm playing it on Game Pass on the Xbox. Instead of Steam, I'm actually playing on Xbox. So the Xbox Windows, I guess, that comes pre-installed with Windows. So well, guys, if you got any games that you want us to look at or check out, or any movies as well, I know there's a lot of movies coming out this summer. One of the big ones is going to be Deadpool 3
I can't wait
with
for
Wolverine.
That. We're going to have to talk about that.
We might have to meet
we should go watch that one together. Yeah, I was just about to say we should go watch that one together.
Yeah, we need to do that. But guys, if you got any movies, any other games that you're excited about coming out, kind of like Matthew said in reference to NCAA Football 25, make sure you drop them in the comments. Check out our Facebook group on GG Rated. We enjoy every bit of it, guys. Thank you so much for all that you do, stopping in and following us and having some fun.
Yeah, thanks for joining us on the GG Rated podcast. Play some games, have some fun, and tell us about it, will you? See ya.
See you the next time, guys.